Yo, what's going on, everybody? You said thumbnail, you've heard the title, and today I want to talk about the death of casual Call of Duty. Because although some people might consider me a quote-unquote YouTuber, I am a casual Call of Duty fan at heart, and I'm a casual Call of Duty player. I like to just get home and play some Call of Duty for a little bit and chill out. And as of lately, that just hasn't been the case, and it's really easy to point the finger at skill-based matchmaking being the reason why. However, I think there is a bunch more that goes into the whole death of casual Call of Duty, and I just want to talk about it because it's something that bothers me, and that's basically all this channel is. Something annoys me, something bothers me, I talk about it. So with that being said, let's get right on into the death of casual Call of Duty. So as I said in the beginning of this video, I don't believe that skill-based matchmaking is the only reason that casual Call of Duty has kind of died off, although I do think skill-based matchmaking is obviously the biggest or one of the biggest contributing factors to the death of casual Call of Duty, because it means every single time you get on the game, you might get like your first match of the day be a little bit of a lenience, but after that, every single match you are going to be having to try very, very hard to do well. And obviously that's stressful, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of Call of Duty being a casual shooter. But I think there are much other factors that come into this. But before we visit those factors, I do want to talk about why Call of Duty is kind of just a casual shooter at heart. Because, you see, Call of Duty has been around for years, and for years it has been a rather casual shooter. And as much as nowadays we like to complain about, the devs making stuff for casual players and stuff like that, like skill-based matchmaking being for casual players and everything like that, Call of Duty has kind of always been a casual shooter. Even if you look at Black Ops 2, for example, one of the most sought-after Call of Duty games of all time, had the Target Finder LSAT, which was the easiest thing to use ever. It had the Remington shotgun, which was the easiest thing to use ever in the game. It had a bunch of little tiny cheese in that game. It had annoying riot shields that you could literally plant, right? It had a bunch of stuff in the game that was for casual players. Yet we look back at Black Ops 2 and think it's the best Call of Duty game ever, but we complain about current Call of Duty games being made quote-unquote too casual. And then you look at even Modern Warfare 2, for example, One-Man Army Noob Tubes, Danger Close, Painkiller, Need I Go On, right? Stopping Power, Juggernaut, everything like that was in Modern Warfare 2, but yet we look back at Modern Warfare 2 and they say it's one of the best CODs ever, if not the best COD ever. So Call of Duty, doesn't matter what game you pick, has always been made for casual players. Has always had stuff in it for casual players. Even if you look at the most current game, Modern Warfare 2, has stuff in it for casual players. It's got louder footsteps to try and make the game easier for casual players and to try and slow the pace of the game down a little bit. It's got no red dots on the minimap. It has no dead silence perk. It has a bunch of things like this in the game that are there for casual players. Yet casual Call of Duty is dead. So why is this? Why is it that Call of Duty now feels more like CSGO, a competitive shooter in public matches, by the way, than what Call of Duty used to be, which was just go load up your game, put your disc in your console, and play the game? Where nowadays it feels like I have to warm up with bots, I have to go into the firing range to warm up my aim, and do all of this stuff. Like I have to warm up as if I'm going to play a quite literal physical sport for a casual video game. Why is this the case? Why does it feel like I have to put my settings to the absolute perfectness of having the perfect aim response curve type, the perfect aim assist setting, and all of that stuff, when back in the day it was just put a sensitivity you like, load the game, and play it? Why is this the case? And as I said before, I think it's multiple factors. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking, but also the amount of people who are wanting to be Twitch streamers, the amount of people who want to be YouTubers now, as well as the rise of esports. I think all three of those kind of combine together to create a very sweaty game, just in general. And this applies to pretty much any video game out there. Almost all video games across the board are getting sweatier. But when you have Call of Duty, which has skill-based matchmaking added on top of all of these factors, it becomes one of the sweatiest video games ever in frickin' public matches for a casual shooter. For a game that is meant to be a casual shooter, feels incredibly sweaty. So to start this off, I guess I'll just quickly dive into Twitch streaming, the amount of people who want to be Twitch streamers. Obviously, people don't really want to watch Twitch streamers who are bad at the game unless they have like a really good personality. People who watch Twitch and watch YouTube videos about like gameplay and stuff like that want to watch somebody who is inherently good at the game. You don't want to watch somebody who's going like 12-24. That's not enjoyable gameplay to watch. Hell, even I try to give you guys at least relatively decent gameplay to watch during these videos because I know it's going to be more interesting than me dying and going like 3-20, which happens from time to time, especially if I'm going for challenges. Obviously, people don't really want to watch that. They want to watch half-decent gameplay. So there's that aspect of it. And then there's the other aspect, which is esports. Now, I think esports is less of a contributing factor because I don't think there's that many people who want to be a professional Call of Duty player as much as there is people who want to be a YouTuber or they want to be a Twitch streamer and they want to do that for a living, because playing video games for a living sounds like a pretty good job until you kind of realize that, oh wow, you're literally forced to do your hobby in order to make a living, which kind of sucks. I don't know. I don't make money off of YouTube. My job is not playing video games, but I could imagine if you don't really like the game too much, having your entire income rely on it is probably not that good of a feeling. It's the same as hating your own job, essentially. But regardless of that, there is a bunch of people who want to do that for a living. And so obviously, again, people don't want to watch people who are bad at the game, so they have to get better at the game. And there's also, around YouTube, there's a bunch of videos out there that are like, here's the best settings for the new Call of Duty game, here's the best class setups, here's the best this, the best that, the best that. And people want to do that so they can get better and grow their Twitch and YouTube. But also people are watching these videos about the best class setups, the best settings and everything like that, because skill-based matchmaking forces them to play super competitive, because they are in lobbies with people who want to be Twitch streamers, who want to do better than them, even more than just the casual player who just wants to have a good time. They are in lobbies with people who want to grow their Twitch channels, they want to grow their YouTube channels, they want to make a living off of playing video games, so they're using the absolute sweatiest class setups. And really, the best way to combat super sweaty class setups is to use a super sweaty class setup yourself. And then, obviously, more people start using super sweaty class setups, and it just spreads like a virus and just infects everybody. And now everyone's running the best Lockman setup, the best M4 setup, the best Vaznev setup. Everyone's running the best setup because it's the only way that they can compete. And it all comes down to the combination of these three things that kind of just kill off casual Call of Duty in general. And it's really sad because you can't come home. Like, I don't come home and be like, yeah, I want to go play some Call of Duty, because it's just not fun anymore. It's just not casual anymore. The game, I can't just load up and play. I can't do that anymore. I have to be in the mood to try hard to play a public match of Call of Duty. And I don't know how long this is sustainable for. Maybe it is very sustainable. Maybe the newer generation of, gamers, this is what they want. And maybe it will be sustainable. But, at least with the people who've been around, who've been playing Call of Duty for years now, this isn't sustainable for us. We're probably going to be leaving the franchise soon, if they haven't already. I know a lot of my friends have stopped playing Call of Duty because it's just not fun for them anymore. And that's basically the reason why, that the number one reason why, is the game's too sweaty. It's not enjoyable. So, I don't know, man. Casual Call of Duty, it just sucks. It sucks that it's dead. It sucks that so gone are the days of just coming home from a day's work, coming home from school, coming home from, school when you just had a chemistry test, a history test, a math test, and an English test all in one day, and you got an essay due at midnight, and you just want to play like an hour or two of Call of Duty to just de-stress and forget about things. No, Call of Duty is just more stress, and it's really sad. So, with that being said, if you guys did happen to enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, sub the channel, turn on post notifications because I do not post that often. And if you want to be notified when I actually do upload, hit that bell notification icon. And with that being said, have a great rest of the day, everybody. Bye-bye. Peace out.